Good morning, Brownsville. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this feed. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Frankie Olivo. Our program focuses on the very important issues that are affecting our local community. We have shed light on injustices, and we have allowed for this platform, this mic, to be that of the voice of the people. If this is something that you can see yourself supporting, we ask of you that you like, comment, and share this live feed. Now, as of late, our Facebook page is at risk of being taken down. The powers that be do not want you, the community, to know the truth. But remember, fam, we will not be silenced. If you're really about the cause and you really want to hold our elected leaders accountable, make sure you subscribe to our social media platforms. You can subscribe to both Facebook and YouTube. We could be found under Frankie Olivo TV on YouTube. Remember, Good Morning Brownsville will come on live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. religiously, rain or shine. So make sure that you subscribe to Frankie Olivo TV to tune in. We will not be silenced. And remember, fam, I am very grateful to each and every one of you for your time and your attention. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Monday, chat. How we doing? How was y'all's weekend? Man, mine was eventful. I want to start off by saying, for those that don't know me on a personal level, I just want to let y'all know that I'm a very private person, very private. This environment in which I'm in is difficult. I know the risks that I face. I'm okay with that. The only thing that really bothers me is whenever family members attack for no apparent reason. And I'm very patient with my family, because at the end of the day, they're family. But sometimes you have to check people. You got to pop people in the mouth and say, hey, cálmate o te calmo. I don't want to go into details. There's a lot of backstory. Again, I don't share personal stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I've been dealing with, but I don't address it publicly. But it comes a time and a point where, hey, you just got to let them know what's up. Also, we had the city elections this past on Saturday, the runoffs, where Nurit Kalonsky and Pedrito Cardenas will be your representatives on the city commission. And we talked about the dynamics and things like that. We talked about how, hypothetically, because there are many things that change in a New York minute. We talked about the majority minority in which we think is going to play out. And the one with all the power right now is Linda Macias. She's that swing vote. I was corrected because I stated that Pedrito's camp was going to be working hard to promise her the moon and the stars. But somebody corrected me and said, no. She's part of the mayor's team. So we'll see. Again, things change in a New York minute, ladies and gentlemen. That's politics. That's politics. It's not for the weak-hearted. There are no friends in this environment. There are no friends. Also, on election night, Frankie Olivo and Good Morning Brownsville seem to be in the mouths and the discussions of many people. One thing that I laughed at was they were saying, Frankie no sabe nada. Frankie's full of crap. But they were just saying that just so Pedrito and his camp could hear. But behind the scenes, they were like, pinche Frankie, ¿cómo sabe? ¿Dónde tiene el clavo? And to all those people that were rubbing it in and saying, oh, Frankie's nothing. Well, it would have been an embarrassment if Pedrito lost. You had the Michael Rodriguez camp, Louis Tejerina camp, the Alejandro Garcia camp, the conservatives. You had the Republican Party camp. If y'all can't win with that, geez. Nobody really knew Daisy. Daisy, for the most part, was an unknown candidate. She came close. So all those people that were rubbing it in and stuff like that, congratulations. You supported an individual that's corrupt, that is being watched by the three-letter agencies. They see and hear about what we've been talking about, how things are hot right now, and they're still wanting to make their moves. And they say that people will play with fire eventually will get burned. But what do we know, right? And also Susan can't chew her gum and walk at the same time. She says she's going to take a break. Oh, I worked so hard to get Pedrito elected, so I'm going to take a break. And Susan, it's two arms. And Susan, let me show you, Susan. It's two arms, Susan, not one. You know why? Because one arm makes you look like a butch lesbian. So, for all those individuals that were waiting for Susan's podcast, the woo podcast, yeah. Well, we might have to wait a little bit longer. Heck, she might not even come on live. Susan for the corrupt. Congratulations, Susan. Now you have divided the Cameron County Republican Party. Some are even questioning your and Deborah Jobless Bell's leadership moving forward. But again, that is what you created. And this is an individual that resigned, that stepped down from being the Republican Party secretary because she didn't want that to be held against her when she's going to run for BISD. So she's ashamed of being a Republican. She's ashamed of being the treasurer for the Republican Party. Why, Susan? Why? Aren't you red through and through? But then again, that's Susan, the fraud. Susan for the corrupt. That tells you. Oh, and also she says, oh, yes, Pedrito, we won. Woo! I'm going to hold you to the fire. Why didn't you hold him to the fire these past 4 years? So all the stuff that Pedrito did while a commissioner, his wife got money, thousands of dollars, and that's okay. But now I'm going to hold you down to the fire. Hypocrites. All of them. The Michael Rodriguez's are hypocrites. Joanne and Alejandro Garcia are now want to go up against Brian. Joanne and Alejandro Garcia can't even speak English. But that is what we're dealing with. So congratulations to all those parties. You just supported an individual that's corrupt. AF. You should be proud of yourselves. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the web of corruption continues. Today, we'll be talking about how the city elections that we talked about and this famous diagram that I showed you is finally coming into fruition. While many people say that Frankie Olivo and Good Morning Brownsville did not know what they're talking about, all this is starting to make a lot of sense. Today, Brownsville, today we will talk about how and ask the question, will Daniela make a deal with the devil? We titled today's program, Daniela will nominate and Carlos will second. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we will start today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in.
I'll fight the insurance company to get you everything you deserve. I'm Attorney George Rubio. Don't wait till it's too late. Call me now.
Rubio.
New details from Cameron County. The former Brownsville fire chief has just been released from jail after surrendering to authorities earlier today.
Carlos Elizondo is charged with theft by a public servant and misapplication of fiduciary property. Channel 5's Daisy Martinez following the story. She's live from the Cameron County Jail.
Kerry Oscar, weeks of turmoil within the Brownsville Fire Department led to this point. Elizondo went from fire chief to lieutenant, then was placed on administrative leave with pay. Today, he found himself arrested and behind bars charged with 2 third-degree felonies. Our cameras were rolling as Elizondo, just a few hours ago, accompanied by his 2 attorneys, surrendered to authorities at the Cameron County District Attorney's Office. When we asked him if he had any comment, Elizondo simply replied, none. He was let off in handcuffs and put in a unit that would bring him here to the Carrizales Rocker Detention Center in Olmito. His attorney, Noe Garza, says the way the ordeal played out today was unexpected.
It's not normal procedure that you turn yourself in at the district attorney's office and have the media waiting for you. Normally the process is you are arrested by an agency, you're taken to the sheriff's department as we agreed to do so. Also, we were willing to do that. So I don't see what the purpose of that was. And the charges are bogus and we intend to litigate them fully in court.
DA investigators, along with the Brownsville Police Department, also executed a search warrant at Elizondo's house. No word yet on what authorities were looking for or found there. Also no word on what these charges stem from. According to a statement released by the district attorney's office, the DA requested a $30,000 bond on each charge. The judge set an $8,500 bond on each of those 2 charges. Again, Elizondo is now out of the jail here at Carrizales Rocker Detention Center. Just less than about an hour ago, he bonded out. He still remains on administrative leave with pay from the Brownsville Fire Department. We'll keep you posted with any new developments. For now, live from Olmito, Daisy Martinez, Channel 5 News at 6.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this web of corruption is coming into fruition. And if you remember, again, we spent 2 weeks talking about Pedrito. And many people were saying, why is he only talking about Pedrito? Why isn't he talking about Daisy? Why isn't he talking about Linda Macias? Why is he talking about Brian? Why is he talking about Tino? Why is he talking about Mayor Cowan? Well, Pedrito was in the middle of a runoff election. And Pedrito has so much cola. He really does. So again, congratulations to all those individuals that support corruption. We'll be addressing each and every one of you very, very soon. But what does the community think? The community seems to be outraged that these individuals are doing these backroom deals. There's someone that says, hey, they always get away with everything. Nobody cares about what's going to happen at BISD. Why? Because BISD, they haven't even addressed the charges against the teachers of having inappropriate relations with students. Why? Because they're all involved from the bottom to the top. We've made serious allegations, and we have confirmed that Cindy Elizondo was aware of Trujillo's relationship with a student, and she failed to report it. Why? Because she's friends with the family of the defendant. Now there's even talks about Cindy going to veterans to be under Norma Jean. How convenient. But again, ladies and gentlemen, individuals are losing faith in the process. Right now, the way we stand, the school board is locked at a 3-3 deadlock. At the beginning of this search for a new candidate, Carlos Elizondo's team was saying, oh, we want an election, give us an election. Because they were thinking that Farley was going to be on top. Farley was going to be strong. But what happened? Allegations came out against Farley. A victim came to me. She posted on Facebook, he knows who I am, referring to Farley Trevino. He knows who I am. He knows what I did. He knows what he did. I was scared then. I'm not scared now. Now they want to appoint someone. So first, Carlos wanted an election. He saw Farley wasn't going to come through because of the dark cloud that Rivera High School has right now, that Cindy Elizondo has, Norma Jean, Obed Leal, Beto Leal. That dark cloud that's over the Rivera High School. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say that Sylvia Atkinson looks like a Girl Scout, compared to the likes of Carlos Elizondo. Sylvia's like a choir girl compared to Carlos. Carlos is evil person. After all these things that I've been posting about him and his wife, again, I'm not talking about his wife on a personal level. I'm talking about his wife as an educator, as a counselor who has the moral obligation to report any relation between a student and a teacher. These individuals, Carlos and Cindy, they started calling the office and saying, y'all need to tell Frankie to calm down, to stop posting those things. They're wrong. He's wrong. He's affecting me. I'm going to file a lawsuit. My office was like, Frankie doesn't work for us. Frankie's independent. He's his own boss. If you have an issue with Frankie, you need to bring it up with Frankie. Oh, it's because he's promoting your show. Frankie? This promotion? Why would I promote another business in my profession? But again, people are starting to see the Carlos and the Cindy Elizondo for who they truly are. Evil people. This picture perfect family of, oh my God, we're perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all have issues, and it's okay. We can't be this picture perfect family. I just thought that was hilarious. They want to silence me. They want to discredit me. Carlos Elizondo said, oh, Frankie owes money, and he's being investigated by the FBI for insurance fraud and stuff like that. And he owes money to people. My friend sent it to me, and I posted within a minute. I owe $3,000 on a business account. Business owners know the struggle. And if I was being investigated by the FBI, they would have already popped me. Insurance fraud is a big deal. Very big deal. But Carlos and Cindy are tirando patas de ahogado. They don't like for people to know that they were behind Jazz Marie Reyes in some sort of way. This image of them being holier than whole. The house of cards is crumbling down. We had a show on Saturday of the runoff elections, and guess who showed up? The devil himself on his fake profile. And he's so dumb. He wants to bash me. My friends show me. He wants to bash me on the blogs. He wants to bash me. Nobody reads them. It's only the political world, which is what? 200, 500 at most, 1,000 people at most. His page is what? 4,000 followers? Dog, our page is 40,000 people. We get listened to by the masses. And we're very humbled by that, Brownsville. We thank you so much for that. Ha! You can't compete with me, Carlos. You can't compete with me, man. But again, whenever I said that Carlos Elizondo is the devil, that Sylvia Atkinson was nothing compared to him, it's the truth. It really, really is the truth. And why do I say that? Do I say that because I spite him? No. I have nothing against him personally. It's nothing personal. Nothing at all. Everything is based on merit. But what have we seen from the character that is Carlos Elizondo? That he's a devil. He's a devil in disguise. He wants to say that I owe money, $3,000. He cost the city of Brownsville, ladies and gentlemen. He cost the city of Brownsville $62,000. Why? Because he was being a part of this ambulance services that didn't have permission, that didn't have a permit. I think was it a permit? I'm going to post it here, fam, just so you won't think that I'm lying to you. Again, we always bring receipts, ladies and gentlemen. Every time we come before you, we always bring receipts. Always bring receipts. There's on YouTube. And there it is on Facebook. And what does it say? It states that the fire chief, Carlos Elizondo, was demoted to lieutenant in September after an audit revealed that he authorized the rerouting of 80 emergency calls to a private ambulance company. The audit alleges that the orders cost the city a loss of income of more than $62,000. So Carlos wants to throw out, oh, Frankie owes $3,000 for his business account. Hey, man, it's a struggle being a business owner. And my business owners, they know. It's not easy. But you know what? We're not asking for handouts. We're not like Trey, muerto de hambre. We're not like Pedrito. We're not like his wife, Pedrito's wife, Pedrito's uncle, cousin that are asking for grants. That's the easy way. Those are grifters. Do we owe money? Yes, we owe money. And we're going to pay it off. We have overhead. And he wants to throw, oh, Frankie, and people, oh, yes. Carlos cost the city of Brownsville $62,000. My issues, my debt is my personal money. How are you going to compare $3,000 of my personal money for my business that I'm trying to keep afloat for this individual that cost the city of Brownsville $62,000? And yet he wants to bring it up on me. Really? I think it's laughable. I think it's funny. I think it really is funny. But what is Carlos Elizondo after? Well, he's after his retirement package that was denied to him when he got fired. And I believe Judge Bernice at the time was the one, a part of the committee, a part of the something. He was a part of something that denied ultimately Carlos's request to get his financial package, financial retirement plan. And he was denied. So ever since then, Carlos has been on a quest to get back into the city. So what did he do? He supported Pedrito and he supported Gustavo de Leon with the understanding that he would get hired back with the city. The city doesn't want him. They know he's a thief. They know he's bad. He sends out bad karma his way. You don't believe me? People have reached out to us. And look at Carlos. Ay, he doesn't like being in front of the camera. Ay, Carlos, pobrecito. Escóndate, Carlos, escóndate. Que no te vean tu cara, Carlos. I love being in front of the camera. D-pick y todo, papá. D-pick and podcast. Ow! And Carlos, here you have, oh. Don't take a picture of me. Oh. Puñetón. And look at him. Look at him. I heard Carlos was all ecstatic at Pedrito's party. Yeah, Frankie. No andabas muy culito antes. Andabas bien calladito, bien serenito. Cobarde. Qué cobarde eres, Carlos. Don't take a picture of me. Oh. Why would they do this to me? This isn't fair. Cobarde. Eres un cobarde. Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, this individual on this screen could potentially be your next board president at BISD. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy how things turn in a New York minute. But again, backroom deals are being made. Things are moving quickly, fast. And even though Pedrito's camp doesn't want to admit it, maybe they want to say, oh, Frankie, yeah, Frankie's nobody. Frankie's nothing. Behind closed doors, they're like, hey, pinche Frankie, ¿cómo sabe estas cosas, hombre? ¿Cómo sabe Frankie? Well, let me let you in on a little secret, gentlemen. Y'all talk too much. All of y'all talk too much. Y'all are gloating and pouting and me. Frank Oliva wouldn't know this stuff. It wasn't for y'all's people. What did we allege? We alleged that Martin Sarkis was going to be appointed by PUB by Gustavo de Leon, which we showed he was. But what was Carlos working on? To get him appointed to BISD. Why? Because right now, it's a deadlock, 3-3, and nothing could get passed. If nothing is done, there's a budget committee meeting today, Monday, and Tuesday, tomorrow. They're going to have a discussion in regards to the appointment. Now, bring me up very quickly. Now, to Miss Daniela Lopez Valdez, if I could address myself to you, ma'am, and to Mr. Joey Lopez, who is the one running the show. My heart goes out to your family. I know what y'all are going through. And in no way, shape, or form am I trying to be rude or be mean. By no means. I recently went through something very difficult myself. And it was tough. I didn't work for 2 months. I lost business. I lost clients. I didn't have money. But you know what? My family member that I love needed me. For whatever reason, he needed me. And I was there because I love him. So I know y'all are going through something very, very difficult. And maybe this is just getting too much to handle. At the end of the day, we Mexican people, we take pride in our families. And family is the most important thing that we have in this world. And politics comes second, third, or fourth after our family. Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez, right now, is the board president. But she's feeling a lot of pressure for being with her loved one who is going through something very difficult in life. And she possibly can't manage. This is too much. Again, I went through this. I did not work. I could not work. Why? Because my focus was my loved one, 1,000%, and my family knows that. My family knows I didn't work for 2 months. My family knows I didn't have money. My family knows I lost business. Why? Because Frankie was taking care of his loved one that he loves. I didn't complain, and I'm not complaining now. I'm just trying to let Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez know that I understand what you're going through. I really, really do. And you, ma'am, have a very, very important decision to make. This will ultimately, your political future, your career in politics is over if you side with the devil. Everyone is looking at you. The Glass Palace is freaking out. How can she do this to us? How is she going to give us the likes of Martin Sarkis? How? I wonder what the girls think. Why is she siding with Carlos? What promises are being made? These girls, what are they thinking? Are they tripping out? Does Daniela Lopez Valdez believe in BISD? Does she? We all know that she has her kids in private school. They don't even go to BISD. Maybe she's like, screw it. I don't need this. Now, again, whenever the vacant seat opened up, 25 people signed up. 25 people signed up. And they made a whole big show where, oh, you have to apply. You got to put your resume. We want to know who's going to be applying. We want the best candidates out there. And we have the likes of Susan for the Corrupt, who resigned as being the treasurer for the Republican Party because she's embarrassed of her party. She doesn't want this to be held against her. Oh, Susan for the Corrupt. But we have potential candidates that are worthy, that would make a great replacement for someone who was all about the people, was all about the community, and especially was all about fighting corruption. But what did we learn? Even though, ladies and gentlemen, even though these people applied, guess what? None of them are going to be selected. Ay, mis presas, get off my show, you hypocrite. Tanto que, oh, corruption. Y andas endorsing Pedrito. No, hombre, ma'am, sácate de aquí. Sácate de aquí. Ahora viene, ¿verdad? ¿Dónde estabas cuando estaba hablando de Pedrito por 2 semanas? Hipócrita, get the hell off my page. I hate people like that. Disgust me. Anyways, where were we, fam? The downfall of BISD. Yeah, ma'am, you're part of it. Anyways, these people, ladies and gentlemen, who thought, because those were the guidelines, those were the things of BISD, are not even going to get considered, are not even going to get selected. Why? Well, because we have 2 potential candidates. Estúpido. Hipócrita. Get the hell off my page, you idiot. Pero muy bien, andabas con el culo caliente, ¿verdad? Wanting to get on this podcast. Idiota. Get the hell off my page. You hypocrite. Idiota. As I was saying. And Kathy was begging me. She was calling me at 7 a.m. Oh, I would be a great person to come on your show. Oh, I know this. I know that. I know this. I'm like, girl, it's 7 a.m. What the hell are you doing? Why are you calling me? She was begging me. Oh, I work with the city. Oh, I know this. Oh, I know that. I was like, dude, I don't want you on my show, dog. I don't want you on my show. Y me hablaba chingue. When am I going to come on? Have But then I started calling out Gustavo de Leon and Pedro Cárdenas. And then, I became a problem. Oh, pues no que corruption, no que muy bule. Hombre, people like that are hypocrites. Y'all don't know me, ladies and gentlemen. I say it like how it is. A mí me vale. I don't care. Anyways, back to the program. These 25 people applied. They're not going to get selected. We have learned through the grapevine that as of Saturday, on election night, at the victory party, someone was already stating that they were going to get nominated, that they were going to get picked, that they had the votes. And that is Martin Sarkis. Martin Sarkis, ladies and gentlemen, I have a folder ready to go about all the stuff that this man has done. Either way, he's going to get a show. Either way. Because he's either going to serve on PUB, where he was nominated, or he's going to get served, or he's going to get appointed to BISD. And look, ladies and gentlemen, what are the odds out of all the people in Brownsville that are educated, that speak English, out of all the people, one man that has many red flags, and I'm going to let the city of Brownsville know who the hell this man is. I will let you know, Brownsville. But this man is the luckiest man in the city of Brownsville. Why? Because it just so happened that he got selected to PUB. He can't speak English. He has no formal education on this side. He's a mechanic. What would he know about PUB? Not just that, but he's the luckiest individual. Why? Because now he's going to get appointed to BISD. He should buy a lotto ticket. The two biggest entities in the city of Brownsville want him. Why? Why do they want him? It's not for good reasons, ladies and gentlemen. It's not for good reasons. And also, you may be questioning, why does Frankie have Joe Rod there? Well, we learned from Carlos's camp that Joe Rod's relative is going to get appointed. I know the name, but I'm not going to release the name. Joe Rod, rest his soul. Oh, Carlos Elizondo was arrested back in 2017, 2018. Again, it's a news article. It's a news article. It's not like I'm making it up. Because these people, they want to say, "Oh, I'm going to sue you for defamation." It's true. You're being accused of theft. But anyways, Carlos Elizondo was arrested in 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. But Joe Rod, God bless his soul, and Carlos Elizondo, and all the board, they overpaid for a scoreboard in millions of dollars. I'll say $1 million. Back then, the thing was, oh, we need a scoreboard. We need the biggest scoreboard. They were going for like $400,000, $500,000. You're talking about 2016. You know how much BISD paid for their scoreboard? 1.5, 1.6. Anywhere from 1.4 to 1.6. $1 million over the market. Why? Because it was Joe Rod's gig. It was his movida. And this is the person, his family member, a relative, that's going to get appointed to BISD. Again, it's only going to be Martin or Joe Rod. Now, again, people, ladies and gentlemen, everything that we've been saying for these past 2 weeks is slowly falling into place. Slowly falling into place. Now, our job is to give you the information in the hopes that this does not come true. Why? Because Martin Sarkis has no business on BISD. None. A mechanic. Again, if he ran and he was voted on by the community, hey, my respects. But this is an appointment. And look, Martin's so dumb. He's not very bright. Look what he says. He said 2 Mondays ago, we reported on this, oh, Brownsville, what a tangled web we weave. And look what Martin said. Yo decliné el BISD. Tu información es incorrecta. Ah, Martín. Ah, ok. La información que tenemos nosotros es incorrecta, Martín. Hace 2 semanas, pero ¿qué? ¿Este sábado qué? Ahora sí, yo tengo los votos, yo soy el bueno, yo soy Martín. Me fregó mi hermano, pero no hay pedo. ¿Eso qué fue, Martín? ¿Estás mintiendo que, con este comentario que hiciste? ¿Quieres venir al programa? ¿Quieres aclarar esta confusión, Martín, que tú estás creando? When he says that I declined BISD, he's already alluding to the fact that, yes, they were already scheming and said, Martin, you're going to be it. According to him, 2 weeks ago, he said, I declined. You're wrong. But what did he say this Saturday? What did he say this Saturday? He says he has the votes, that he's going to be part of BISD. Now, why is Daniela doing this? Why? The Glass Palace is freaking out. Why are she going to give us Martin Sarkis? Why? Out of all people, you have to give us Martin Sarkis. Why, Daniela? Why? We want to know why. She's trying to protect the Lopez empire. She does not want Carlos to run up against her dad for Cameron County Precinct 2. That is the plan of the Republicans. Carlos is shouting and stating, oh, I'm running for re-election. I'm running for re-election for BISD. No, you're not, Carlos. No, you're not. You're going to go on to bigger and better things. So what are they doing? They're giving Carlos what he wants. Here, you want Martin Sarkis? We'll give you Martin Sarkis. But that's the thing. Daniela fails to recognize. And again, she doesn't believe. I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to be very, very nice. And I mean no disrespect. Again, I know what you're going through. I know. And I mean no ill will. I really don't. Again, I've been there. It's not pleasant. It's difficult. Very, very difficult. And what I'm about to say, I'm going to say it as nicely as I can. But Daniela lives in a fantasy world. You know those horses that have those things that are just... She thinks that what we say here on Good Morning Brownsville, what's in the blogs, is fake. All the information that we've been getting comes from the very, very top. How would I know about these backroom deals? You think these men will tell me? No. How do I know that Gustavo de Leon appointed Martin Sarkis with the understanding that he's going to get appointed and then he's going to resign and he's going to go to BISD? How would I know that? Because there's people out there that care, that they do not want Carlos back at the city. They do not want Martin Sarkis on the BISD board. So Daniela thinks that by her giving Carlos what he wants is going to get the monkey off the back and that the dad won't have an opponent. That is what she's thinking. But can you trust Carlos based on his previous... he's evil, Daniela. He's a devil. If you made a deal with him to be an understanding that he wouldn't run against your father, he's going to tell you no. But guess what? He's going to run against your father. He's going to screw you over. Bueno y bonito. He's going to do it. Now, what happens if Carlos gets his 4? Daniela seems to think that she's going to remain the president. No, ma'am. Carlos has been chasing the board presidency for years. Years. You don't believe me? His family, this past November, after the elections, his family wore T-shirts that said board president, that they were going to show it and be proud and say, Carlos is the board president. He was furious. He lashed out at Frank Ortiz. Why the hell did you vote for me? Why the hell did you vote for the other person? Why? He lashed out at Frank Ortiz. And Frank, I'm sorry. Frank seems to not be aware of Carlos's dealings. What? Say what? What? Deal? What? Good morning, Brownsville. What? What? They know exactly what's going on. Exactly what's going on. So to Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez, you're going to get screwed in this deal. You think that you're protecting your father? You think that you're going to continue with the board presidency? Nope. I understand, ma'am, you're going through something very difficult. And maybe you said, you know what? I got what I wanted. I was the board president for a while. And look, Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez, she loves to please people. She likes the recognition that she gets. She likes for her to be the board president because she gets an extra hour with the board attorney. She likes that. She likes to hear people say, oh, good morning, Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez. Oh, hello, man. Hello. She likes the attention. She loves the attention. But one thing I can guarantee you, ma'am, if you make this deal, your political career is over. People will hold this against you. The people that got you into office, the glass palace, the people that are protecting you, that take care of you, they're not going to look too kind on this. They're freaking out. They're sharing Good Morning Brownsville, Frankie Olivo's page, and they're saying, what the hell is going on? Is Frankie lying? Again, we report these things because this is hot. This is pan caliente, fresco. We want to divert this from happening. People got spooked. And also, ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Elizondo was going to put on the agenda to put Martin Sarkis on the agenda until Frankie Olivo posted that diagram. And what happened? They stopped. They stopped. They got spooked. They said, oh, crap. So Daniela is going to make a deal with the devil. She's going to nominate, and Carlos will second the motion. That's the plan. But you know who is also going to affect? And he knows it? The superintendent. The superintendent now is playing politics. He knows his job's on the line. He knows if Carlos gets on and gets his 4, he is done. And imagine starting the new year with an interim. Imagine. If Daniela gives Carlos what he wants, she's going to get screwed. Royally screwed on all aspects. She's going to lose the board presidency. And also, this person that they protected, that her team, that her majority at one time protected, is at risk of being fired. I agree, Mr. Peda. I agree. I'm just reporting of what's out there. I totally agree with you, man. 1000%. So let's think hypothetically now. What's going to happen with this? Let's say Carlos gets his 4 either through Martin Sarkis or a relative of Joe Rod. Why do they want these people? Because they can be controlled. They can be manipulated. And it's all about, what did you say, Mr. Peda? It's all about contracts, and it's all about the vendors. BISD is half a $1 billion entity. Billion with a B, capital B. It's a honeypot. So what's going to happen if this transpires the way we've been claiming? The super's going to get fired. He knows it. He's playing politics now. He's scared. He's worried. Who's going to replace him? Well, we don't know, but we have an idea. And one thing I want to state, Miss Longoria, I have nothing against you, ma'am. This isn't me trying to bash you. No, ma'am. I respect you. Nothing against you personally. As an administrator, as a person, my respects. Now, is she a perfect person? No, she's not perfect. She probably, but I am reporting of the possibilities of who will be the next. Now, again, I'm not sure if Dr. Longoria has a superintendent degree. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm human. But these are the 2 individuals that I feel as if would get the nod. Why? Well, don't say I didn't tell you so. Doctor, bring me up. Dr. Rita Hernandez made a threat on my life. This is the 3rd person that has threatened me in a matter of 2 months. Damn. You know you're doing something good, ladies and gentlemen, when you make people uncomfortable. When all of Pedrito's party was nothing but Frankie. You want to know why? Because they know I know the truth and I speak the truth. And what does that famous saying go? When you stand up and speak the truth, you don't just make noise. You make enemies. Truth shakes comfort. Rita, I don't even call her doctor because I lost all respect for her. Rita was going around town telling people Frankie Olivo was going to get picked up very, very soon. Why would she say that? Why would an educator with a doctoral degree make threats against someone? Why? Because she's part of that team. And what does she expect? She expects for her people to get her the superintendent position. Rita, And I believe Ms. Longoria, Dr. Longoria, they're very close with Minerva Peña. And this is possibly the reason why Rita attacked me. Because, hey, I called out Ms. Minerva Peña. But Rita, and look, Rita, I know you're watching. Let me let you in on a little secret. It's only us, so nobody's going to know, Rita. Every time you called Erasmo Castro, guess who was there listening? Erasmo Castro would do this to me. Speaker. Good morning, Gilbert Rodriguez. Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for following. We'll be addressing all y'all in the very near future. Erasmo Castro would put Rita on speaker, and guess who was listening? And Rita's lazy and very political. She favors a community who is well off. Erasmo was just playing the game with her, but she would call and she would say, hey, this is going on at BISD. And remember, I have a super degree, a superintendent license degree, whatever, certificate. And I don't want to be it, but I'm just letting you know. Erasmo would look at me, he'd laugh. He'd be like, pfft. So Rita is lazy. Rita is very political. She favors a community with money. When she was at BISD, she wanted the St. Joe students to attend summer school at BISD. And guess what? She wanted the St. Joe kids from private school to attend summer school at the BISD high schools to make up for lost credit. But she didn't want BISD to charge them a fee. And she's been talking about everything that has been going on. She says she wants to be the superintendent for BISD. You don't believe me? It's actually 60, but the T-Mobile. No, 72, the T-Mobile. But these individuals, ladies and gentlemen, they're already making deals. Why? All because Daniela Lopez Valdez is making a deal with the devil. If you haven't made plans to attend, I encourage you to do so to the BISD board meeting. If you're able to go today, go today. If not, go on Tuesday. Let them know what you feel about a mechanic, someone with a very sketchy background. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to unveil who the real Martin Sarkis really is. And the information that we're going to present to you is not nice. Not nice. So to Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez, the world is watching. What will you do? Are you going to side with the devil to protect the Lopez empire? You think that Carlos is not going to run against your father because he's telling people that he's going to seek re-election? Carlos can't be trusted. You should know that. Your father should know that very, very well. You think by giving Carlos his majority, you're going to continue with the presidency? I wouldn't even be surprised if Carlos' family takes those shirts. on Tuesday when they appoint and possibly realign the board. Ms. Daniela Valdez, this isn't fantasy. You may try to discredit my person. You may try and discredit this microphone, but it's very powerful, ma'am. We speak the truth. And we speak on what the community is letting us know because they don't want this. They do not want Martin Sarkis nowhere near. The Glass Palace is freaking out. They don't want this. So, do you believe in BISD, Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez? I hope you do. So, just to let you know, ma'am, your political career is on the line. Your credibility is on the line. I understand you're going through something very difficult, and I hope that things get better. But if you give Carlos the majority, all hell's going to break loose at BISD. I think you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So the world will be watching, ma'am. The world will be seeing if you will be making a deal with the devil. Thank you for your kind words, Mr. Cepeda. I'm trying my best. On Tuesday, on the agenda, there is the discussion with board attorney to talk about the vacant seat. What will happen? Something's going to happen, because if not, the state will come in, and these people don't want that. They're willing to sacrifice whatever it takes because they don't want their money that money, the feria, to run dry. So I hope this message reaches you, Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez. And I say this with all due respect. Your political career is on the line. If you make a deal with the devil, guess what's going to happen? Sharing for someone. Does he have something recording, maybe on the Lopez family, reason why she is jumping ship? Again, blackmail is common. Very common. That's the reason why Frank doesn't do anything, because he knows if he gets out of line, Carlos is going to. And Ms. Ortiz, we are working on that story. It is going to come out. So hope. Does Carlos have something recording maybe on the Lopez family? Are there text messages? Is there video? Is there audio? Remember, Carlos loves to record people. If y'all aren't aware. But you make a great point. Is it something to where they have something on them that she's scared, that she said, uh-oh, we know family. Family always protects each other. Well, unless you're my family. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the budget committee meeting. Go. Tuesday, tomorrow, is a very important day. We will finally get revealed the person that will be appointed. We hope that this message reaches Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez. And ma'am, this is not a fantasy world. What we speak on this mic is for the greater good of Brownsville. Martin Sarkis has no reason to be on the BISD board. No reason at all. Joe Rod's relative has no reason to be on that board. You may think that I'm lying. You may think that I'm insignificant. But I speak the truth. I have no filter. I want a better Brownsville. I want a better BISD. And Carlos is not it. Carlos is not it. The world is watching, man. The ball is in your court. What will you do? Moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Frankie Olivo. It is Monday, June 9th. This is Good Morning Brownsville. I told you this summer is going to be nothing but bangers. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and attention. Hope y'all are here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe already. Appreciate me, Brownsville, because I'm risking my life out for you. Thank you so much for your time and attention, ladies and gentlemen. See you here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Ciao! No outro music. No outro music. No outro elevator music. Just positive vibes. Positive vibes. Y'all's way. Like this, Susan. Like this. Oh, like this.